மாமிகுதெல்லாம் செம்மலையே நின்பாலே உத்திதமாய் நின்றே ஒடுங்கிடுமால் நித்தியமும் நானென்றிதயம் நடித்திடுவையாலுன் பேர் தானிதயம் என்றிடுவர்தாம் அகமுகமாரந்த அமலமதி தன்னால் அகமிதுதான் எங்கெழும் என்றாய்ந்தே அகவுருவை நன்கறிந்து முன்னீர் நதி போலும் மோயுமே உன் கண்ணருணாச்சலனே ஓர் வெளிவிடயம் விட்டு விளங்கும் அருள்நேசா வழியடக்க நிற்கும் மனத்தால் உளமதனில் உன்னை தியானித்து யோகி ஒளி காணும் உன்னில் உயர்வுருமீதுன் உன்னிடத்தில் ஒப்புவித்த உள்ளத்தால் எப்பொழுதும் உன்னை கண்டு எல்லாமும் முன்னுருவாய் அந்நியமில் அன்பு செய்யும் அன்னோன் அருணாச்சலாவெல்கும் இன்புருவா முன்னிலாழ்ந்தே அருணகிரிரமணன் ஆரியத்திற்கண்ட அருமறை அந்த கருத்தேயாகும் அருணா சலபஞ்சகமணியை தன் தமிழ் வெண்பாவால் உலகு கழித்தானு வந்து அரியாதீதர சீவர தகவாரிச குகையில் அறிவாய் ரமி பரமாத்துமன் அருணாச்சலரமணன் பரிவால் உளம் முருகானல பரனார்ந்திடு குகையார்ந்து அறிவாம் விழித்திரவாய் நிசம் அறிவாய் அது வெளியாம் அண்ணாமலையாய் அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாயனக்கோர் குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லால் என்னேனிவற்றை என் உயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ஓம் அதிமதுர சாபஹஸ்தாம் அபரிமிதாம் மோதபான சௌபாக்யாம் அருணாம் அதிசய கருணாம் அபிநவ குலசுந்தரீம் வந்தே. ஓம் ஐம் ஹ்ரீம் ஸ்ரீம். அருணாச்சலம். உபதேச உந்தியார் முதல் செய்யுளிலிருந்து படிப்போம். We will read from the first verse. கண்மம் பயந்தரர் கர்த்தனதானயார் கண்மம் கடவுளோ உந்தி பர கண்மம் கடவுளோ உந்தி பர கண்மம் சடமதாழுந்தி பர வினையின் விளைவு விழிவுற்று வித்தாய் வினைக்கடல் வீழ்த்திடும் முந்தி பர வினைக்கடல் வீழ்த்திடும் முந்தி பர வீடு தரலில்லை உந்தி பர கருத்தனு காக்கும் நிற்காமிய கண்மம் கருத்தை தீருத்தி அக்துந்தி பர கருத்தை தீருத்தி அக்துந்தி பர கதிவழி காண்பிக்கும் உந்தி பர திடமீது பூசை செபமும் தியானமும் உடல் வாக்குழத் தொழில் உந்தி பர உடல் வாக்குழத் தொழில் உந்தி பர உயர்வாகும் ஒன்றில் ஒன்றுந்தி பர எண்ணூறு யாவும் இறையுருவாமென எண்ணி வழிபடல் உந்தி பர எண்ணி வழிபடல் உந்தி பர ஈசனர் பூசனை உந்தி பர வழுத்தலில் வாக்குச்ச வாய்க்குச்சபத்தில் விழுப்பமானதம் உந்தி பர விழுப்பமானதம் உந்தி பர விளம்பும் தியானமிதுந்தி பர விட்டு கருதலின் ஆருணை வீழ்ச்சி போல் விட்டிடாதுண்ணலே உந்தி பர விட்டிடாதுண்ணலே உந்தி பர விசேடமா முன்னவே உந்தி பர அணிய பாவத்தின் அவன் அகமாகும் அனனிய பாவமே உந்தி பர அனனிய பாவமே உந்தி பர அனைத்தினும் உத்தமம் உந்தி பர பாவ பலத்தினால் பாவனாதீத சத் பாவத்தீருத்தலே உந்தி பர சத் பாவத்தீருத்தலே உந்தி பர பரபத்தி தத்துவம் உந்தி பர உதித்த இடத்தில் ஒடுங்கி இருத்தல் அது கண்மம் பக்தியும் முந்தி பர. அது கண்மம் பக்தியும் முந்தி பர. அது யோக ஞானமும் முந்தி பர. Puja, japa and dhyana. These are the three sadhanas prescribed generally in our Sanatana Dharma. Bhagavan also affirms that puja is done through the body, japa through walk, through speech, and dhyana through the mind. So the later is superior than the former, because more the subtler the sadhana, more potent it's the benefits. So what is the real puja? Yes, worshipping the Lord in a vigraha is a puja, but superior than to that is to worship the Lord in all the eightfold forms. Panchamahabhuta, Surya, Sandra and Jiva. So that is the superior puja. So that you do not go to a particular place, wherever you are, whatever you are seeing or hearing or touching, feeling, that becomes worship. That is superior worship. And then with respect to japa, we have to start vakucha. First loudly, then soft, and then manasika. When it becomes manasika japa, it leads to the state of meditation. That is called as meditation. In meditation also, initially, it is a broken meditation. Meaning what? Interference of lot of thoughts in between. And then when it matures, it is unbroken. Arunai vilchi pola. Like the clarified butter poured into another vessel, ekadhara. Like that mind flows continuously to the altar of worship. That is wonderful. So that we have to ensure that it becomes unbroken. The meditation becomes unbroken. Even there, instead of keeping the lakshya as something else, the Lord as somebody else, aniya bhavatin avan aham ahum ananiya bhavam. Meaning, the ananiya bhava means what? Keeping the Lord as one's own self is anittin muttamam. That is the best bhava to have. Because that is what said in our scriptures, tat tvamasi. You are that. Therefore, to keep the Lord as one's own self in our heart, and then to worship Him or meditate Him is the best way of doing it. Having said that, Bhagavan says, with the bhava bhala, with the strength of the bhavana, you transcend bhavana. And then you abide in that satbhavana. Satbhavana means it is beyond thoughts, where there is only I am. That is satbhavana. So remaining there is the end goal of our spiritual sadhana. Satbhavattiliruttale undi para parapatti tattva. That is the culmination of bhakti also, where the devotee feels there is only God, not me, there is only God. That is parabhakti tattvam also. And then to summarize the whole idea, Bhagavan says, uditta idathil odungi iruthal. That is karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga and jnana yoga. Why? When the mind abides in the source of all thoughts, the mind perishes. So the ego is destroyed. That is the end result of all these yogas. So when you are abiding in the self, in the Moola Sthanam, everything is done. Nothing needs to be done. Uditta idathil odungi iruttal. In one line, the whole thing is summarized. Uditta idathil odungi iruttal. So if somebody asks you, what is the essence of Bhagavan's teaching? You can quote this line. Uditta idathil odungi iruttal. That is karma, bhakti, yoga and jnana. Till here we have seen yesterday. Today, Bhagavan is going to talk about the Raja Yoga. See, generally Bhagavan doesn't talk about Raja Yoga and all. But here, since it is Shiva's Upadesa to the Tarugavana Trishikal, and it's the essence of all Upadesa, Upadesa Saram, Bhagavan might have thought we have touched upon this subject also. Because in Sanatana Dharma, this Raja Yoga is also very much part of it. Ashtanga yoga, they say. Ashtanga yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 angas. Ashtanga, they say. So, Yama, Niyama, you all know how we have to live in this world and how we have to take care of ourselves. That is Yama, Niyama. Asana means, you know, the right posture. Asana. And then Pranayama means how to control the breath. That is very important. Because the pranas are responsible for the physiological functioning of the body. So you remain healthy. And not only that, prana is very powerful. With that you can control the mind too. Pranayama. And then comes Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana means what? Unbroken. Meditating on one object. That leads to dhyana, the state of dhyana. When that matures, it is samadhi. This is how Ashtanga Yoga talks. So here, Bhagavan takes that subject, but not handling in detail, but giving the essence of Raja Yoga. See, Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji used to say, when the heart is developed, then he follows Bhakti Yoga. When his head is developed, he follows Jnana Yoga. When both are 50-50, then he pursues Raja Yoga or Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means mostly for the people who are into action, world of action. So here Raja Yoga. வழியுள்ளடக்க வலைப்படு புட்போல் உளமும் ஒடுங்கூரும் முந்தி பர உளமும் ஒடுங்கூரும் முந்தி பர உடுக்க உபாயமி துந்தி பர வழியுள்ளடக்க வலைப்படு புட்போல் உளமும் ஒடுங்கூரும் முந்தி பர உளமும் ஒடுங்கூரும் உந்தி பர ஒடுக்க உபாயமி துந்தி பர. வழி உள் அடக்க. Vali means prana here. Even Tamil people may not know the meaning. Vali means what? They know only vali, pain. That is another la. Here vali, like kiri, vali. Vali means the breath or the prana. Vali ul adakka. When you control the breath through kumbhaka. Yes. Wait. You want to chant once again?
No, you will explain.
No, see, I will do that. See, I will do that. Towards the end, I will do. Vali ul adakka, meaning when you control the breath or the prana inside, ul means inside, through kumbhaka. Means, pranayama means you take the breath through one nostril and then leave through the other nostril. In between, you control the breath or you keep it inside. That is called as kumbhaka. So, maintain the breath inside. So, the Raja Yoga sadhana, it is very important. See, Bhagavan is skipping all the other yama, niyama, asana, all those things. Here, he is talking only about pranayama. Devotees asked Bhagavan, what is the right posture to sit? About yogasana, what is the right posture to sit? Bhagavan said, sit in your own self, that is the right posture. Like, punch dialogue. Bhagavan always gives a punch. So here he talks about pranayama. So vali ulladakka, when the breath is really retained within through kumbhaka, what happens? Valai padu put pole. Here, put pole means like the bird. See, this word also is a very technical Tamil word. They know paravai means bird, but here put pole. Pul means bird. Put pole means like the bird which is caught in the net. Valai padu, which is caught in the net. Ulamum odungurum undivara. The mind is also controlled or restrained. See, the bird always wants to fly. Sudandarama paranda theriyadhan virumbodhu. It wants to be free. It wants to fly everywhere. But if it is caught in the net, it cannot. Though it wants to, it cannot. Similarly, the mind wants to expand and roam here, there, everywhere only. But if the breath is controlled, the mind cannot. Though it wants, it cannot. Like the bird caught in the net. Valai padu putpol ulamum odunguru mundibara odukka ubhayamidundibara. This is the right means to restrain the mind. See, please understand, prana is grosser than the mind. Mind is subtle. To control the mind which is subtle is difficult. To control the prana which is grosser is comparatively easy. So, when you control the breath, the mind also is controlled. See, that is why even in modern management seminars, workshops, they say, if you are agitated, if you have to take a very important decision, take a long breath. They say, na? And nowadays they even teach, just watch the breath. For some time, just keep quiet, don't think about anything, watch the breath. They teach, it is all Buddhist technique actually. Bhagavan also suggests Vikshana Pranayama. That we will see later. So this breath, if you watch, the breath becomes so shallow and the mind also becomes so quiet. Because the prana and the mind has got a very, very close association. If you control one, the other is controlled automatically. See, this our yogis have really observed and found out. And they have used this technique to control the mind. See, it is not a joke. It is all scientific actually. Yeah. So, when you control the breath, the mind cannot run. Like the bird which is caught in the net. Valai padu put pole, caught in the net. The mind is restrained. Ulamum odungurum. Odungurum means what? It remains within. It cannot run out. This is one of the means to control the mind. Ubhayamidondibara. Ubhaya means it is one of the means to control the mind. See, through devotion, when you think of the Lord, when you melt in devotion, automatically mind becomes quiet. In jnana also, when you inquire, who am I? Prana is also restrained. The mind also abides. In Raja Yoga Marga, forcefully the breath is controlled so that the mind also is controlled. Chitta vritti nirodha yogaha. Chitta vritti nirodha. The thoughts in the mind are restrained. That is yoga through pranayama, through controlling the breath. That is yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the first sutra is this. Chitta vritti nirodha yogaha. So that is yoga. That is what Bhagavan is also saying. Then in the 12th verse, the next verse, Bhagavan is giving why it is happening that way. What is the association between the mind and the prana? Here he is giving. Ulamum uyirum unarvum seyalum. Ulavangila irandundi para. Ulavangila irandundi para. ஒன்றவற்றின் மூலம் முந்தி பரா உளமும் உயிரும் உணர்வும் செயலும் உளவாங்கீழ ஈரண்டுந்தி பர உளவாங்கீழ ஈரண்டுந்தி பர ஒன்றவற்றின் மூலம் முந்தி பர உளமும் உயிரும். உளம் means mind. உள்ளம், mind. உயிர் here means prana. உயிர் போயிடுச்சு means what? Prana has left. So, உயிரும் உளமும் உயிரும், the mind and the prana, உணர்வும் செயலும், meaning உணர்வு means thoughts or knowledge, to know things. So, mind is the seat where thought arises. Unarvu. Thought means the knowledge about the world, about everything. Prana is the platform which is responsible for activities. See, the jhada sambandhamana body is activated by prana. So, because of the mind, you are able to know. And because of prana, you are able to do. So, sayal means action, doing. So, the mind and the prana, which are responsible for knowledge and action. This is what it means. Knowledge and action. Ulavam kizhairandundi bara. They are the two branches. They are the two branches of the same tree. ஒன்று அவற்றின் மூலமுந்தி வர. The root is the same. What is the root? Atma Swarupam is the root from which the prana and the mind rises. The mind is responsible for the knowledge. It functions through the senses and it knows everything. That is unarvu. It is indicated as unarvu. And the prana, it is responsible for all the activities through the pancha karmendriyas. So these are closely associated because they are like two branches of the same tree. The root is one. So if you control one, the other is controlled automatically. Because they are the two branches, the moola is one. Our Swamiji used to give a beautiful example. See, this chair is there with 4 legs. Na? In Tamil they call it as narkali. Now they don't understand narkali means chair. Tamil also chair only. So if you want to drag it, you need to pull only one leg. All the whole of the chair will come because all the 4 legs are connected. So here the mind and the prana, they are interconnected because their moola is one. That is Atma, the self. So when one is controlled, automatically the other thing is controlled. See, this is very evident, very obvious. Let us say when you are angry, very angry, emotionally very disturbed, you watch your breath. You will not watch your breath because you are taken, carried away. Generally your breath is very, erratic. Like that, When we hear a good music, beautiful music, when we are prashantam, you watch the breath. It is so shallow, so beautiful. By observing the other person's breath, we can tell him whether he is turbulent or whether he is peaceful, quiet. So, when you control the breath, when you make it shallow, the mind becomes quiet. Sometimes when you sit for meditation, the mind is so turbulent for so many reasons. It's uncontrollable. Chanchalam himana Krishna, Arjuna says. Vayoriva sudushkrutam. You can even control the wind or the kaatha kuda neenga kattupadithiyalam pola irukku. But you can't control this mind because it's so turbulent. That's what Arjuna asked Krishna. It's so turbulent. At that time when you sit for meditation, nothing happens. So what to be done? You have to control the prana. If you are a wise person, at that time you have to control the prana. Either by watching the breath, without interfering with the inhalation and exhalation, just watch, let it subside, then the mind becomes quiet. Then you can do dhyana or Atma Vichara. Or if you have learnt yoga, pranayama, then start doing pranayama. When the breath is controlled, mind is also controlled. Certain days the mind is so peaceful, quiet for no reason. Sattva is there. That time you can straight away glide into meditation. So these are all different techniques given by our masters to tame the mind. But I tell you, sometimes you cannot do anything towards this mind. Especially when we sleep in the nights, something goes into our head. Sometimes we feel very miserable. We don't know how to stop these thoughts. Thoughts are continuously flowing. You try so many things. Sometimes it's very horrible, very difficult. Swamiji, not sometimes, all the time it is horrible. You don't know. Yeah, some people, they talk even in the sleep. So, to control the breath is relatively possible, easier. So, the mind is also automatically controlled. This is the idea given by our Yoga Shastra. So, Bhagavan is explaining it here. One more thing I want to tell you, Bhagavan has not learnt any Yoga Shastra or any Shastra for that matter. It's all so surprising how he is able to very sukshma, very subtly point out everything. That is all jnana swarupam he was. Now moving on to the next verse. Layamumna sammi randamodukam இலையித்துளதேழும் முந்தி பர இலையித்துளதேழும் முந்தி பர எழாதொரு மாய்ந்ததே உந்தி பர லயமும் நாசம்மி இரண்டாமோடுக்கம் இலையித்துளதேழும் முந்தி பர இலையித்துளதேழும் முந்தி பர எழாதொரு மாய்ந்ததே உந்தி பர. This odukam, this restraining of the mind is of two types, layam and nasham. Layamum nasum irandam odukam. This odukam, this restraining of the mind is of two types. One is called as layam, another is called as nasham. What is layam? What is nasham? Ilayittuladezhum, ulam ilayittu ezhum. In layam, the mind temporarily is as if restrained, but it comes out again because of the vasanas. Whatever may be the technique, mind has not realized its source. But for some reason, temporarily, it is quite restrained. Like applying a brake to a vehicle. Applying brake to a vehicle. When you apply the brake, screech, the vehicle stops. But when you take off your leg from the brake, starts going again. Similarly, because of the pranayama, because of the restrainment of the breath, temporarily the mind is laya, in laya. When the effect of pranayama is over, the mind again starts. So that is called as a layam. See, even in meditation, they say, if you are not alert, the mind can enter into a state called layam. It's equivalent to sleep only, which is not very useful. Because whatever vasanas you had, you continue to have.
go into the Laya.
But you should not allow that to happen. That's what Bhagavan says. So, consciously, if you inquire, who am I, and remain alert, so then it happens. You can dive deeper. That's why Ilayam means the mind goes into that state of Laya, where it remains there without much activity, but it comes back. Ilayithu uladezhum undi para. But here, Yadadu uru maindade undi para. In Asham, uru maindadu, the very form of the mind is destroyed. When the mind is destroyed along with the vasanas, there is nothing except the self. It won't arise again. Meaning, again you will not come back to the Bheda Bhavana, Bheda Prapancham. You have the experience of that one. So, this is the difference between Layam and Nasham. We should always aim for Mano Nasham. That's what Bhagavan says. If you do Atma Vichara in the right sense, then it leads to Mano Nasham. Vasanakshayam. All the vasanas are exhausted and the mind is destroyed totally. That is advisable. Mano Layam, yes, temporarily there is relief from the mind's activity. But the vasanas are not exhausted there. The ignorance is not removed. Therefore, again the mind comes up and it roams everywhere. So, very clearly it is stated. See, Bhagavan always used to give a very typical example. Once a Mahatma sat for meditation, it seems. Before sitting, he felt very thirsty. So he asked for water, it seems. Please, disciple, get me some water. Then the disciple, he just went away and the Mahatma sat and somehow he just got lost. And you know what? Not for a day or two, months together, he was in Samadhi, as if. Then when he woke up, the first thought he got, where is my water? Meaning, the mind was restrained, but the vasanas were still there. Meaning, the first thought is about the water. In sleep also, when you think something, and then when you go to sleep, when you get up, the first thought comes is about what you have thought. So that is, Layam means, the vasanas are not exhausted, just the mind is restrained. But Nasham means everything is destroyed. So these are the two types of restrainment of the mind. So we have to aim for Mano Nasha. How to achieve this Mano Nasha? Because the Layam is only temporary. Like I told you, applying brake to a vehicle. Through pranayama, you apply the brake. When the brake is released, the vehicle again moves. The mind again starts. In the 14th verse, Bhagavan says how to achieve this Mano Nasha. Udukka valiyai odungum mulathai Vidukave or vali undi para Vidukave or vali undi para Viyum madanuru undi para Udukka valiyai odungum mulathai Vidukave or vali undi para Vidukave or vali undi para Viyum madanuru undi para Udukka valiyai odungum mulathai. When the breath or the prana is restrained, then mind also is restrained. Udukka valiyai odungum mulathai. Now when the mind is restrained, you should not leave it like that. What you should do further? Vidukkave or vali undi para. You have to channelize that mind which is quiet now into one channel. Vidukkave orvali. Meaning what? You have to employ that quiet mind in the meditation of one. Vidukkave orvali. See, it can be interpreted in two ways. Vidukkave orvali means in one channel. Orvali. Meaning you have to take an object for meditation. It can be the divine form of the Lord, it can be the mantra, whatever. And continuously you should apply that mind in the thought of that object. Vidukkave orvali. When mind gets concentrated, chitta ekagrata, then the mind just collapses. Meaning what? The knower and the known becomes one. Can you imagine? Knower and the known can become one. In fact, it is one only.
No duality.
Yeah, but we only create the duality because of our ignorance. So through meditation, mind collapses. Mana uru maya. Mana uru is lost. That is one aspect. The second thing is, vidukkave orvali means we have to employ that mind in Atma vichara. Meaning, where from this I is rising? Vidukkave orvali. So in the pursuit of the source of all thoughts. So when you employ the mind in orvali, what is the source of all these thoughts, of the I thought? Like that, if you apply the mind, then what happens? Viyum adanuru. Viyu means what? Viyu means false. What falls? Adanuru. The mind's form is lost forever. Mind means, you know what? The knower and the known. This dichotomy of the knower and known is called as mind. Viyum adanuru means what? The distinction between the knower and the known is lost forever. And there is only one. One means what? Isness. You cannot explain that. It is isness. Suttarivuன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க தமிழ்ல. Suttarivu means we always know objectively everything. Suttu, like that. This, that. This is Suttarivu in Tamil. What happens? That Suttarivu is lost. Meaning their objective knowledge is gone. Yeah, there may be knowledge of the world without the knower. How is it possible, Swamiji? You go and see how it is possible. You cannot understand from here, from the platform of ignorance, you cannot understand. Only when you glide into the platform of pure knowledge, you understand how it is. Our Acharya used to say, Vritti Vyapti and Phala Vyapti. Vritti Vyapti means the knowledge of the world or whatever. Phala Vyapti means the knower. Phala Vyapti means I know. Here he says in the enlightenment, the Vritti Vyapti is there, but Phala Vyapti is lost. Meaning, the notion of I know is lost, or the knower is lost, but still the knowledge can continue. How? Go and see. Don't ask how. Don't keep howling. Why? Don't keep howling and whiling. So, mana uru maya means viyum adanuru. So, the mind's form is lost forever. Then the mind will not rise again. That is the end of all sadhana. The manayeva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Mind alone is responsible for bondage and liberation also. You are your true friend, you are your real enemy. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So when you can restrain your mind and employ it in meditation, vidukkave orvali, you are your friend. When you just allow the mind to run riot, you are your worst enemy. See, if you can tame your mind, 80% of sadhana is done. Actually, the mind is terrible. It projects so many things. It is so worried about so many things. The root cause of all worries or all trouble is the notion of I and mine. Non yanadu, I and mine. Ahamta and mamata. That is the root cause of all trouble. If ahamta and mamata is given up, there is no trouble anywhere. In the Ishvara's creation, there is no trouble. The Jiva Srishti is what? Non yanadu, I and mine. All problem lies there in I and mine. In Ishvara's Srishti, there is only bliss. Jiva Srishti is we create the division through our raga dvesha and ahamta and mamata, and we suffer because of that. We don't suffer because of anything else. We suffer because of our own ignorance. So when the mind is destroyed, its form is gone, then there is real freedom, there is real peace. As long as the mind is there asserting itself, there is no peace. You know this famous statement. Once a disciple went running to his master and said, "Oh master, I want peace, I want peace, I want peace." Then the master, he said, "Give up the I and give up the want, there is peace." All the trouble is because of I, and I want this, want that. So in this I want peace, give up all the wants and I, there is peace. How come, Swamiji? How can we give up our wants? To live in this world, we need some basic needs, no? Everybody has got basic need. In this world, everything is there for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. Mahatma Gandhi has said. So when the mind is totally destroyed, there is peace. And there is enlightenment, meaning the vision of oneness. The mind creates bheda bhavana, the knower and the known. Even in the known, something is favorable, not favorable, desirable, not desirable. And then we run after the desirable and we run away from the non-desirable. This is samsara. So when the mind is destroyed, there is peace. So these great masters have destroyed their mind. And they have really destroyed their egos. Therefore they are free, prashantam. They are always in their innate nature, which is peaceful and blissful. Then what happens? Once when the mind is destroyed, what happens? What happens? Here. Manavuru mayame mannu mayogi. Tanakor sayalillai undi para. Tanakor sayalillai undi para. Tanniyal சார்ந்தனன் உந்தி பர. மனவூரு மாயமை மண்ணு மாயோகி. தனக்கோர் செயலில்லை உந்தி பர. தனக்கோர் செயலில்லை உந்தி பர. தன்னியல் சார்ந்தனன் உந்தி பர. Mana uru maya. When the form of the mind is destroyed, Mei mannu mayogi. We have to split it like this. Mei mannu mayogi. Mei means the truth. Mannu means one who is abiding in the truth. Mayogi, Mahayogi. This Mahayogi who is abiding in his own self, which is the truth. Mei means truth. Mahayogi, Tanakor selillai undi para. For him, there is nothing to be done. Tanakor selillai. Why nothing to be done? Because all the vasanas are exhausted. See, we have got a lot of vasanas within. The vasanas will not allow us to keep quiet. They express as desires. I feel incomplete. I want that, then I become complete. I want this, then I become complete. So there are so much of desires. So when the desires are there, you cannot remain peaceful, quiet. There are so many thoughts. And then you have to act. You are compelled to act. You are pushed from within to act. Let us say all the vasanas are exhausted. Then there are no desires. Because he is feeling purnam, full, totally complete. When you feel there is nothing lacking, I am full, all blissful, then there cannot be any desire. Or, if he himself is not there, the ego is destroyed, then how can there be desire? When the ego is destroyed, when I am not there, for whom the desire? When there are no desires, there are no thoughts. When there are no thoughts, there is no need for any action. So he is not compelled to act. So if he wants, he can keep quiet. If he wants to do something, he can do it also. Nobody can stop him also. He has got full freedom. Even the Vedas cannot put vidhi nisheda for him, do's and don'ts for him. Because he has no ego, so he can never do anything wrong. Ego is the source of all evil, for all sins. When the ego is destroyed, he is the instrument in the Lord, in the hands of the Lord. So he can do or he can remain quiet. Sometimes he may say he is doing it for Loka Kalyanam, like Kanchi Paramacharya and all. Or like Bhagavan, he may remain quiet. See, for us, we cannot remain quiet. Please understand. We are compelled to act. How can I remain quiet? I have to take care of my family. Who will take care? I am the sole breadwinner. So I have to run. And I have to do this, I have to do that. Otherwise, what will people think about me? So, one bungalow I have got, it's not enough. I have to have another, one in Kodaikanal. So, summer I will go and spend there. Only for 2-3 days. For that whole year, you have to maintain it. See, these are the desires. At least once I want to visit Switzerland. Why? I tell you, it's all beautiful. Beauty is the eye of beholder. If your mind is not healthy, you will not enjoy even Switzerland. Even the heavens you will not enjoy. Mind should be healthy anywhere. Mind is healthy, you can enjoy even anywhere you can enjoy. See, when mind is healthy, you enjoy the chirping of the birds. When the mind is unhealthy, why these birds are shouting now? Shut up! So the mind is everything. So the desires, so much of desires. When there are desires, you cannot keep quiet. See, people take everything upon themselves, you know. Nandana sayano, nandana sayano, nandana pathukano. Now poita enna hu. When I go, what will happen? Everybody will be happy. You are the source of all trouble. Our Acharya used to say, one headache less for the world. We think without us nothing will function, but it is not so. Say, I was in Sri Lanka as Acharya of the Chinmaya Mission. I was the only Acharya for the whole of the country, running here, there, doing this and that. Then I thought, so if I am transferred, what will happen? He's flourishing more now. Then I realized, oh, I was the problem. When I was removed, everything is auspicious there. Similarly, in this ashram also, when I go, it will flourish, I suppose so. Because we are the trouble, we are the problem. So when the mind is destroyed, when there are no desires, no thoughts, and everything is peaceful, he is not compelled to act from within. He can remain in his own self peacefully and blissfully. He needs no crutches. He has no image of his own. So he is not worried about his image. He need not prove anything to anybody. And for him there is no world. He need not transform anything or change anything. And he has no destiny to reach. He has already reached everything. He is not there. So therefore, there is no action for him. Meaning he has gone beyond all karmas, action. For him, there is no worlds to reach. So therefore, this is it. When the mind is destroyed, there is one which is imperishable, which is Purnam, and is abiding in that, full stop. For some reason, if he is acting in the world, nobody can stop him. It is divine will for the Loka Kalyanam. See, if he is keeping quiet, his just very presence is very auspicious for the world. His very presence can give so much of peace to the people around. See, that is very rare commodity nowadays, peace. If you can get peace in one Sannidhanam, what a wonderful thing. Is that not so? People don't understand this. They want some siddhis, some miracle to happen. This is the best miracle which can happen. If you go and sit in next to somebody, if the mind becomes so quiet and peaceful, what else you want? Hrit Shantikara Sannidhyaya Namaha. One of the Ashtotram of Bhagavan, it comes Hrit Shantikara Sannidhyaya Namaha. His Sannidhi is such where you feel peace. That is the real miracle. Because his mind is like a mad elephant. If somebody is able to just control this mind without doing anything, is that not a miracle? So for him, there is no action whatsoever. Nobody can compel him to act, or nobody can restrain him also from acting. He is Purna Sudhantran, Swatantran. That is real freedom. We are not free. We are always dictated by the whims and fancies of our own mind. We are not free. Only when the mind is destroyed, we are free. Otherwise not.
Including living the body also.
No. Body, let it be. According to the prarabdha, let it live or go. The mind is the evil. The mind is the problem. That's what Mahatmas say. See, Jivan Muktas means what? They are living in the body only, not as a body. Living in the body, not as a body, but they are free because they have destroyed the root cause of all evil, that is the ahankar, the ego sense. They have destroyed. Their ignorance is gone. Okay. So this is the exalted state of the Mahayogi, one who is abiding in his pristine pure state. Because Tanakor Sayalillai Undiyara, Tanniyal Sandana Undiyara. Tanniyal means what? In his own self, he is abiding. Tanniyal. He has attained his selfhood. Tanniyal Sandanan. He has attained his true nature, which is Paripurnam, where there are no desires and action. See, the self, Atma, that self, is beyond action. Means akriya. There is no kriya there. It is absolutely still. There is no movement, absolutely still. Therefore, no action. Action infers some movement. Na? Absolutely, it is still. Whatever happens in the world outside or within him, there is no movement in his experience. Therefore, he is beyond all actions. So he becomes totally free. And then 16th verse. This is also one of the gem of the verse. Here Bhagavan gives how to go about. And then he starts Atma Vichara Marga. Actually, technically speaking, from 16th onwards, he starts Atma Vichara Marga. Till now he spoke about Raja Yoga Marga. Now he starts technically Atma Vichara. But from the next verse, people say it is Atma Vicharam. But technically it starts from the verse 16. வெளிவிடயங்களை விட்டு மனம் தன் ஒழியுரு ஓர்தலே உந்தி பர. ஒழியுரு ஓர்தலே உந்தி பர. உண்மை உணர்ச்சியாம் உந்தி பர. வெளிவிடயங்களை விட்டு மனம் தன் ஒழியுரு ஓர்தலே உந்தி பர. ஒழியுரு ஓர்தலே உந்தி பர. உண்மை உணர்ச்சியாம் உந்தி பர. Since Bhagavan is not trained in Vedanta Shastra, or he has not read scriptures before realization, whatever comes out of him is original and also very crisp, to the point, and nobody can further condense it or simplify it. So sharp, I tell you, so sharp, so crisp, so precise. Like a scientist, he is so precise. See these words, how beautiful it is, so precise. What is need to be done? This is what needs to be done. வெளி விடயங்களை விட்டு மனம் தன் ஒளி உரு ஓர்தலே உந்தி பெற உண்மை உணர்ச்சியாம் உந்தி பெற. வெளி விடயங்கள் means the objects outside. வெளி விடயங்கள். So what are the objects outside? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda means the sound. Sparsha means the touch. Rupa forms. Rasa, the taste. Gandha, the smell. These are the 5 objects available for the senses, for the mind, and for any being, for human being, let us say. So, veli vidayangalai vittu. Vittu means what? Give up. Give up means what? Need not worry about anything from the world outside. Because they are the trigger for the mind to sort of function or to go berserk. See, not only the veli vidayangal, already there are impressions about veli vidayangal within the heart. That also can put the mind, into a very confused state. At least now, we have to stop all the external stimuli. Eyes you can close. You will not eat pakoda while meditating. But what you can do to this nose? You cannot sit like this. What are you doing? I am sitting in meditation. You cannot sit like that. You cannot close your ears. So the sound will come. And also the sparsha, the breeze, or very hot I feel, and all those stuff. So you just don't worry about anything of the external. Don't give any value, positive or negative, to external. வெளி விடயங்களை விட்டு, let the world go to hell. I don't care. This is how you have to sit. If you care for the world, you cannot sit. என்ன சுவாமி இப்படி சொல்லிட்டீங்க கடைசியில்? Swami Vivekananda said, you have to serve the world. Now you are saying don't care. Is it not contradictory? See, from different standpoint, different things are true. If you come to Bhagavan, this is true. If you are really serious about Atma Vichara and abidance in the self, this is true. When you abide in the self, there is no world. For heaven's sake, there is no world. Mandukya clearly says, not only there is no world, there can be no cause for this world. So therefore, வெளி விடயங்களை விட்டு, that is the first and foremost step. உடல் உலகு விட்டு, வெளி விடயங்களை விட்டு மனம், the mind, what it should do now? தன் ஒளி உருவோர்தல். ஒளி உருவோர்தல் meaning what? From where This I, that is Odi Uru. The I means that I thought is the one which illuminates the other thoughts. Without I thought, there can be no other thoughts. Tomorrow we will see in detail. Without the I thought, there cannot be any other thought. That is why it is said the I thought is one which is illuminating other thoughts. That is why the I thought is called as the Odi Uru. See, in a thought there are two aspects. One is the object of the thought, and second is the light which is illuminating the object of the thought. So the light which is illuminating is I. The object of the thought is any other object. Like horse. Horse is running. In this thought, a horse is there which is running. That is the object. And I am thinking about that. So I am there. See, without me, can thoughts arise somewhere here in the mid-air? Only with the conscious entity a thought can arise. Therefore, I arises and then the thought. The I is the one which illuminates all the thought. It is called Atma Chaitanyam, which is reflected in the Buddhi. Chit-chaya, these are all technical terms in Vedanta Shastra. So, only with the light of the I thought, all the other thoughts are illumined. Therefore, Odi Uru means what? Odi means light. Odi Uru means what? The I thought. Odi Uru Ordale. The mind now should seek the source of this I thought, which is in the form of light. Light means not this tube light or light. That knowledge which illuminates everything is called as light here. So, Odi Uru Ordale Undiyar. The mind should now focus on from where this I thought is arising. That is Unmai Unatshiyam Undiyar. That has to be done. That needs to be done. That is the only thing needs to be done. So now our mind is continuously distracted by the world of thoughts, objects, emotions and thoughts. Gurudev says OET, objects, emotions and thoughts. Now the first and foremost step is drop all the objects, emotions and thoughts. And then turn the attention towards the person who is having these thoughts. That is I. This question Swami is asked to only turn the attention, nothing else. Then there is a feeling or notion of I. What is this I? Keep the mind there. From where this I thought is arising, dwell deep within. That is Unmai Unatshya Mundipara. That is the real sadhana. When the mind is continuously distracted by objects, emotions and thoughts, it can never understand its source. To understand its source, it has to give up first all these distractions. We are not worried about any thought, only that thought which is concerning us. Our near and dear, we are concerned. Now, what is happening in Ukraine? Russia is bombarding. Are we worried? No. Ayo, pow. That's all we react. If there is fire in this hill, let us say, there is a small hill, there is fire. Then we react, oh my God, why? It may come to me. We react. Suppose something happens to my child. Oh my God, I cannot sleep. My child, it has come to me. So the thing is, everything is not disturbing us. Only which is concerning to this I, that is disturbing us. Which is concerning this I? Mind. Whichever we consider as mind, that is only is concerning us. This I. So you see, I and mind. Not anything. So more the attachment you have towards this world, more the disturbance. Less the attachment, less the disturbance. No attachment, no disturbance. But the mind or the I cannot survive without attachment. It wants to hold on to something and thrive. If it gives up everything, it cannot thrive, it will collapse, it will die. So the mind will not allow itself to die. It will hold on to something or other and remain alive. So now you don't feed the mind with anything. You starve the mind by not giving any value to any of these worldly things, external things, even the internal things, then what happens? Who am I? Meaning, நான் இருக்கிறேன்ற உணர்வு இருக்கு. I am, that is a feeling that I am. You just dwell on that feeling. This is what Nisargadatta says. Just keep the attention on I, and you dwell on that continuously. That I perishes. That's all. Mana uru maya means the I perishes. When the knower is gone, all the known is gone along with the knower, because all the known comes out of the knower only. See, this is the secret. All the known is coming out of the knower only. See, in Mandukya Karika it is said, knower is like a pen, and he is only drawing this world. Chittiramam ihudellam semmalaye ninpale. When the knower is not know anymore, there is nothing to be known. Only when there is knower, there is world. And the world is full of injustice. World is full of suffering. I am going to take a jadoo and go on, change the world, clean the world. What nonsense. You yourself are not. Where is the world? When the first person is not there, where is the second person, third person? Only when, with respect to the I, there can be you or he, she or it. When the very first person is not, where is the question of you, she, it? So there is no world to change or to help or to, transform. It's all bullshit. You have not inquired about your true nature, yourself. That is why you are seeing a world other than you. That is your ignorance you are seeing. And you are reveling in your ignorance. It's all ahankara only. This world is nothing but ahankara only. Ahankara vilasam. It is all expansion of the ego only, nothing else. When the ego is destroyed, nothing else remains. Everything else is destroyed. So without destroying this ego, whatever you do in this world is inauspicious. Because ego is only doing. Without destroying the ego, whatever you do in the world is all inauspicious. When the ego is destroyed, everything is auspicious. So, mana uru maya. So, veli vidayangalai vittu. Just give up everything. Odi uru ordale undiyara. Just give your attention only to this I thought, which is Odi uru. Why it is called as Odi uru? The nature of light, because it illuminates all other thoughts. Only when the thoughts are illuminated, you see a world. That is why it is called as Odi uru. I thought is the Odi, the light, which illuminates everything. Without I, there is no other thought. So, inquire who is this I. Odi uru ordal means what? Inquire. From where this I is arising. Inquire means what? Give your attention. And when you continuously give your attention to this I, that is Odi uru, then what happens? That small I or the egoistic I perishes. That is Unmai Unachiyam Undiyara. That is the real sadhana or whatever to know the truth. All the other things are beating around the bush. Keeping the ego intact, whatever you do, is just beating around the bush only. Inquiring the very source of the ego, that is the real sadhana according to Bhagavan. So when you go to Bhagavan, I am so confused, I am so disturbed. Then Bhagavan says, for whom the disturbance? For me. Have you inquired, are you there? Have you inquired who you are? When you inquire who you are, you find you are not. Then where is the disturbance? Where is the confusion? So all the disturbance because I am. Have you inquired about this I am first? See, we take first thing for granted and then we build upon. Bhagavan always he pinpoints. First of all, whether I am is real. You inquire. When that is found to be unreal, not, then all these things are null and void. See, what a wonderful thing. இத மாதிரி கிளியரா யாருமே சொன்னது கிடையாது நான் நினைக்கிறேன். பகவானை தவிர இந்த மாதிரி திட்ட தெளிவா crystal clear, nobody has explained or expressed.
Today morning we are discussing the same points also.
So all the Upanishads also, they go around, I suppose, I should not say that, but still I feel that way, beating around the bush so much. Even the traditional Vedanta Shastra, it talks about so much about, Vyakti, Samashti, all those stuff. And then, they build up the world, the universal consciousness behind the Prapancha and the consciousness behind this Jiva, and then the Aikya Bodha, Brahma and Atma is one, all those things. But Bhagavan says, where is the other first of all? Only with you, I, the other comes. With the very I is not. So where is the question of other? There ends the story. So without inquiring the I, how can you resolve the other, the world? Because the world itself is an expression of your ignorance, your confusion of the mind. So Ori Uru Ordale Undiyar Unmai Unachchiyamu, that is the real inquiry, that is the real sadhana, where you destroy everything. You know what? See, it's very interesting. When it is said, when Lord Shiva opens his third eye, everything is burnt. You know what? When the eye of knowledge is opened, what is eye of knowledge? The eye of knowledge is only self is. All the other things are not. When that is open, everything is destroyed. That is what it means. That is why it is called a Samhara Murti. He destroys everything means what? When the eye of knowledge is opened, Arivam Viditiravai, Adu Veliyam. Adu Veli. Nisam Arivai, Adu Veliyam. There is nothing. There is nothing other than that self. There is nothing. So this is the Unmai Unarchi. So in the Ulagathai Vidama, Aanmala Nishtanaga Mudiyadu. Without Thyagenaike Amrutatva Manashu. Only giving up everything, whatever of the world, one can abide. Giving up is not physically, but mentally. Meaning, this notion of I and mine should go. Because that is the source of all disturbances, distraction. Only then you can go within. That is why Vairagyam is important. Viveka Vairagyam. Without Vairagyam, Jnana can never happen. Vairagyam means what? Giving up the false is Vairagyam. What is false? Everything is false. So, seeing false as false is meditation, Nisargadatta says. Seeing false as false. So, giving up everything, that is Thyagenaike Amrutatva Manashu. If you hold on to at least one thing, that will disturb you totally. In fact, if you hold on to 20 things, it will not disturb you that much. If you hold on to only one thing, that will disturb you. Because everything is dependent only on that one. That will disturb you like anything. See, on the Kalathala, they had 10 children. They were less miserable. Because only one. When that fails, this fellow goes, gone. I tell you, this is true. When your heart is in only one, you are destroyed. One means what I mean in the world, I mean, attached to only one. That is why when a person attached to his wife or children, just only one or two, he is so miserable. When a person is attached to the whole country, he is not that miserable. He expands. The whole universe, Sarva Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. He is not that miserable. When you shrink within, then you are more miserable. So, Unmai Unachchiya Mundipara. This is the Unmai Unachchi. What is the Unmai Unachchi? Veli Vidayangalai Vittu Tan Ori Uru Ordal. This is Unmai Unachchi. Adu eppadi oradhu? Naalaiku Bhagavan viriva sollapora. He is going to explain to you the Atma Vichara Marga. So, after 15-16 shlokas, now Bhagavan has kept this Atma Vichara in the middle. And then Jnana Marga is going to explain. So, whatever we are going to see tomorrow is the essence of Bhagavan's teaching. Atma Vichara. So, Bhagavan has built up till this point of time. What is Karma Yoga in 3 verses? What is Bhakta Yoga in next 7 verses? And what is Raja Yoga in the next 5-6 verses, 5 verses? And now from tomorrow onwards, for another 4-5 verses, he is going to give the essence of Atma Vichara. And then from 22nd, 23rd verse, he is going to summarize the whole of Jnana Marga, whatever is given in traditional Vedanta Shastra, and he is going to summarize, and there he ends the Upadesha Saram, Upadesha Undiyar, which is the essence of all teachings. So this is Shiva's Upadesha to Tharugavana Rishis. Who else can give this out except Bhagavan, who is the very embodiment of Shiva Tattvam, very Shiva himself. So this is very auspicious, very authentic. See, after studying Bhagavan, we need not study anything. It is everything, it is ultimate.
One point, Bhagavan has pointed out why he has not pointed out anybody, but our ancestors have made spirituality in such a way that the common man will run away by seeing it.
Yes, they made it more so complicated.
Yeah.
I will tell you about that 1 minute, we will finish this. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. See, the Panditas, you can switch off. The Panditas, they make it so complicated.